Hey everybody, it's Chip Harris here. I wanted to get back with you on housing market information, economic information that I've been reading about, and then also mortgage data, which we'll start with, I think the most negative news, unfortunately, that we have for today, but a year-over-year decline of 50% on mortgage applications. A year-over-year decline of 50% on mortgage applications, new mortgage applications, and that is a detriment to the mortgage industry. Refinance mortgage applications down close to 90% year over year. So the rate increases, as we all know, has been very effective in crazy decelerating the mortgage industry. And I would say at this point in time, mortgage loan officers, originators, backroom process people are probably a little nervous. And 50% year over year decline, keep in mind though, is a 50% decline from the best year ever almost to this year. And so a 50% decline from a normal market perspective may not be as impactful or negative. People are still buying houses and people are still applying for mortgages. The creative and innovative and stick-to-itiveness of mortgage loan officers, those are the ones that are going to survive and do well, and they are out there and they're very good loan officers and originators. There are some fly-by-nights that probably are going to go the way of the dodo in a market like this, which isn't always a bad thing, but I hope for everybody's sake that they can hang on and do okay. All that now behind us, I will say the press has been extremely negative in predicting and even saying that the housing market is declining significantly, and yes, it is slowing, but folks, every silver lining has a touch of gray. I think the great Jerry Garcia sang that in a Grateful Dead song. Every silver lining has a touch of gray. And so that touch of gray is, yes, there's some negativity out there, things are slowing, but the silver lining is, that home values are not decreasing. Home values in general, now this is city by city, case by case, state by state, but most swaths of the United States, home values are not decreasing, but they are, the gains on a monthly basis, the value gain is decreasing. So there's a big difference there. If your home value is valued at $200,000 last month, this month, based on the numbers, your home is still worth $200,000 plus about 11%, as a matter of fact, which is pretty darn good. And so what they're telling you in the news from a negativity perspective is, hey, last month home value appreciation was close to 14%, between 13 and 14%, which was down from the month before, and certainly down from last year. But increases in home values by 13 to 14% is a great thing, even if it's less than it was a month before. This month came in at 11% growth rate. 11% growth rate. So at 11%, if you have a $200,000 house, your home appreciated by 11%. But what you'll read in the news from a negativity perspective is, oh my gosh, home prices are declining. Home prices are declining. Well, it's not that your value has declined. If you own a $200,000 house, in most areas, it's still a $200,000 house, plus a little bit. What they're trying to convince you of and spin from a negativity perspective so that we feel more scared and more intimidated from an economic and housing perspective is that, oh, your house, it was worth $200,000 last month, is now worth $190,000. Most markets within the United States that are steady Eddie markets like ours here in North Carolina, that is not the case. If you have a home that's worth $200,000, it's still worth $200,000 in most cases. And so the fear factor is a huge determination and determining factor around our psyche and the way we react to our spending habits, the way we react to buying or selling a home, or buying a car, or spending on our credit card for Christmas in the future, whatever the case may be. And again, it's spinning negative because the Fed wants us to think negatively so that we stop spending and that we stop consuming and that we fear for our jobs and that things get tighter. They want it tighter so the economy will go down. So interest rates, the interest rate increases make the economy go down. Inflation numbers will come down, blah, blah, blah. We've talked about that in previous videos. But from a home price perspective, a home value perspective, I am not concerned at all. Now, what I am seeing is record numbers of homes that are for sale, that are listed for sale, reducing their price. Because I still say that sellers have overreached with their realtors in determining the fair market value for their home today. They're still thinking 6 months ago, 8 months ago, a year ago. They're overpricing and it's sitting on the market and they're having to correct down until it sells. And that's pretty much a normal real estate market, frankly. But because the last 2 years things have sold so quickly and for multiple offers and over asking price, right now it just feels substantial, but it feels more substantial than it actually is. If you're a seller and you have a good house and you price it correctly in an area people want to live, your house is going to sell. But pricing it correctly is going to be the key factor there. In addition, you've got to expect, as a seller, now buyers have a little more power. You're not getting the multiple offers. You're not getting over asking offers, but you're getting offers, or an offer at least. But you got to expect buyers are now going to come in and say, we'll pay you this, but we want an additional credit for closing cost assistance. Or we would like for you to purchase a home warranty for the home for us because your HVAC system's a little older, or the hot water heater's old, or something like that. There are going to be some concessions that are asked to be made for sellers that, frankly, over the last 2 years, sellers haven't been used to, and they've been in the driver's seat. Now the buyers are taking a little more control, and I would say the market is normalizing a little bit, so sellers, just be ready for that. If you get an offer on your house, it's not going to be unheard of for you to have to concede some closing cost assistance or something to help maybe even buy down the buyer's rate so they can afford your house, which wouldn't be a bad trade-off. So they say if I need, $3,000, $3,500 to buy my rate down, which will put me in a target to be able to purchase this house, they're going to potentially ask for that money from you in a form of a credit. So just be prepared for that. And if it helps get your deal done and you're happy with the numbers after that turns out, move forward. But always consult with your real estate expert, your realtor, and move forward with caution with their advice. So from an overall economic perspective, still predicting another 75 basis point rate increase here in November, and probably a smaller, I would say 50% basis point again before the end of the year. Once again, pushing rates higher than they've been in decades, and increasingly pushing mortgage rates higher than they have been in decades. But again, that's the touch of gray to every silver lining, but there has to be a silver lining to have a touch of gray. So the silver lining again is in 2023, even though it'll be a real estate hard year in 2023. I'm predicting it. A lot of people are. I think everybody's anticipating and batting down the hatches from a real estate and investment perspective in 2023. However, the silver lining is I think the economy will slow so significantly due to these rate increases that the Fed will then be compelled by the end of 2023 to start decreasing interest rates, start up a whole new quantitative easing versus tightening protocol, and I think that things will be better. I mean, I really think that by the end of 2023, the economy is going to be in rough shape, and there will be carnage out there, I believe. However, I think that things will improve slowly through the end of 2023 and certainly into 2024 and late 2024. I think 2025 looks golden. 2026 looks golden because this is a cyclical economy. It's a cyclical housing market. We're going to go through a dip over the next year, and then we're going to just shoot out of it just like we have in the past. And that is my bold prediction. So until next time, when I see new data come out, I will talk to you then. But until then, I'll see you later.